No, hope is there. It's something there that I have for the rest of my life. Um, Trust is part of that. And I trust in a higher power that's not going to give me anything more than I can handle. And I'm having a lot of fun knowing that I have the strength behind that. I trust. I generally trust people until they become human, and then that godlike type of thing is broken. But no, I trust generally most people.
But not like when, I mean, if you said that earlier when you were a young man,
Oh yeah, I didn't trust anybody.
you didn't trust anyone.
I didn't trust that's all. But today I do trust people. I trust AA people until that trust is taken away. Um, the good thing about working in the field of addiction, you know it. You don't believe anything anybody says as far as it goes. So you trust that the disease is going to be active, and if you do that, then at that point in time, anything can be gone. Ah, sharing. It's important. That's the love part. That's the love part that we learn. In order to keep it, we got to give it away. And I believe that's firmly giving back to AA, giving back to my fellow man. Uh, early on, when I was institutional rep and stuff like that, I was in 1973. Con Ed, because of the union, put my name in for the counselor's job. They asked me if I was interested in becoming a counselor for Con Ed. And I tell you, it was a dilemma, really. It was a really dilemma because I could handle the institutional committee and stuff like that because that was nothing other than sharing experience, strength, and hope. If I'm going to be a counselor, it's a different ballgame. I know my sponsor and I, we went over this for at least a month talking about this sponsorship and not sponsorship, but counseling and also 12-stepping. And what we got down to it, 12-stepping is 12-stepping. It's sharing experience, strength, and hope. But the reality is that counseling is telling somebody what they need to do to get well. And if you are in a work-setting situation, you have the power to be able to force them to do things that they wouldn't do. And so reality is that the situation is 12-stepping is for you. 12-stepping is for your strength, not for his. If he gets well, that's fine. If he's doing good, but at the same time, if you're a counselor, you're going to have to tell them what to do, and there's ramifications if they don't do that. They could lose their jobs, they could lose all kinds of things. Whereas, say, with 12-stepping, it's for me.
So giving back is very much for you.
Yes, very much so. And part of it is a whole lot of things. I had a dilemma about back in the 70s, early 70s, when I was in an institutional rep. They used to call me at the hospital to bring somebody out to a meeting after they were released and stuff like that. My sponsor always taught me, he says, when you put somebody into treatment, you pick them up and take them to the first meeting. That's what I did. And that's all the caring and giving back and stuff like that. But at this point in time, what happens with the counseling and stuff like that, AA got the attitude, AA membership got the attitude that if you're going to be a counselor, you're going to sell AA. And you were being looked down upon during those years. So my sponsor and I, when we spoke and really got down to it, he told me I'd be good as a counselor. He said you'd be real good as a counselor. But the idea that the AA they frowned upon counselors because you're selling AA. And so the only thing he told me to do, he says, whatever you do, when you go to an AA meeting, you're there for AA. You're not as a counselor. And if you identify yourself as a counselor at an AA meeting, that means you're one step above them. You're putting yourself above the group, that you're a professional, you're a counselor. And what happens, that sets you up for a whole lot of problems later on because you're not able to get what's needed at that meeting. You're not equal to the people who are there. You're putting yourself above them. And what you need to do is be humble enough to be able to understand what you need to get sober. If you don't, the problem is very real. You will not. You'll get drunk and you'll drink. So, even to this day, I have never mentioned at a meeting that I was a counselor. Everybody knows I am, but I have never expressed at an AA meeting I'm a counselor. Oh, I love me. Sure, we all have egos. But the reality is that I sit there and laugh at my ego, because the fact is that I like the grandiose things, everything else like that, but I have an ego. I like egos. I mean, ego is good, but at the same time, it could be very damaging. I fantasize sometimes about, you know, being the greatest thing in the world, but I'm not. It brings me back to reality.